Hello everyone, Hawkey here, back with another sort of Convallaria video. So this post on Gacha Gaming about our NIGHTCRIMSON update, it's a really hype update, and I understand why he has put it on the Reddit here, and it's been interesting. So this guy says, super stingy, pity system sucks, it's a hard pass. And there's a lot of pulls for the content creators. But I think the pity is fine. Like, we have 2%, which is a lot higher compared to a lot of the recent gacha. It's at a 1% rate for the debut banner. And yeah, I think it's really fair. Like, hard pity is at 180, which is quite a long way away. But we're getting about, on average, 80 to 90 pulls a month. So that means we have to hit it'll take us like 2 months worth of savings to hit hard pity, but being at a 1% rate on average, you should already hit that debut unit every 90 pulls or so. And being that means every second banner you are most likely able to get the debut unit, and I think that's quite fair. Like, even if you play other games, it's not that likely that you'll be able to pull for the debut unit every second banner. And if you're a bit more unlucky, it's like 1 in every 3 banners that you'll be pulling for. So, and the content creator drama, that was pretty big. So, yeah, thousands of pulls. You got that right, it was thousands of pulls. But no, it was like, at most, they were getting like 60k for that first month of Astrals, and if we put it at a 1x1 rate, it was about 400 pulls. If they had like BOGO, that would have been like 800 pulls. And I guess the end of it, it's, you know, content creators, those who are sponsored by sort of Convallaria, they had to get paid somehow. It's either in pulls or real hard cash. And I'm pretty sure everyone prefers real hard cash, so it was kind of a bummer for those content creators, and most of them have quit. So it's only me and a few others left. It is what it is. I wasn't able to become a official content creator, but I'm still going at it. 1, streak of bad luck for free play, you're scraping the barrel. 2, it's bricked account because there's no solid banner runs, so you can't just skip meta units and get them later. But bro, if you've been following the free-to-play plan, right? We're not pulling every banner. We're pulling like every second, third, even fourth banner. Like, you know, even on release, you would have been Gloria to Coco. That's every third banner. You would have skipped Akambe to Sophia. That's the second banner. To August, that would have been a tough one from Sophia to August. But otherwise, you'll skip a second banner to Homer. And now we're looking at skipping like from Homer all the way to Ted to save up on pulls. So we're not pulling every banner. And if you are, then it's not really the game for you, right? It's not really a character collector. You can't get everyone. Gacha games is, you know, you can't be like Pokemon and catch them all. Out of 20 new mobile games, Sword of Convallaria is the worst. One of the worst, if not the worst. Okay. And why? It was like really hype at the start for Sword of Convallaria, and it has died down, and there is still like a very stable, and strategy RPG games, it is a more niche community, and we're not supported by like, you know, waifu bait and like everything else like the other gacha games as well. People like to make the game die faster. Playing it since day 1 is completely right. Stop white knighting. What's happening here? Super stingy. Again, if you don't manage your currency correctly, unless you went full PD every time, you're guaranteed to have most of the top units. It's not bad. Better than having a Girls Frontline 2 or Genshin clone and people love them. Just do the math. You being lucky doesn't affect the fact you're likely to get the featured unit, as you are in Hoyo games after the first 50-50 loss. What else? Yeah, Genshin has really low rates. But I don't know. What is the... Okay, every 2 weeks is fairly standard for gacha games. Pity system's good. You get a guaranteed 5-star in 80, and next 80 pulls is guaranteed one. Pity system's only good if you get rate up within 100 pulls. Pity free to play. If you hit 180 for banner up, it's hard to recover your free to play pull stash. 100 for soft P, 80 for hard pity. Oh, there's Lumi. One of the... Doesn't help if the game is stingy. Literally BS. So this guy quit because how fast the banners were released, plus meta character after meta character without time to save for pulls. So let's analyze this. So this is our current banner schedule. And yeah, so basically when Titan released, they started with these banner units. These were the standard units in their banner. CN released, they skipped these units and started off with Ida. And when Global released, we basically skipped similar units to CN. And we skipped 2 more, Momo and Alexi on top of that. And we started with Gloria. And yeah, there hasn't really been that much of a big difference between our release. They also had like Sophia, August, Coco pretty much back to back. We had pretty much the same, except our cycle sort of switched up. We had Akambe in the middle there, so instead of 3 back to back, we would have went Coco, Sophia, August, and yeah, that would have been a break with Akambe, a break with Hasna until we got Homer. So, and all their banners are on a 2-week cycle as well, and so is ours. So there hasn't really been a sort of fast track, and CN basically skipped pretty much the same units that they skipped as well. So technically, you know, we're basically copying the CN banner. Like, we had a Gloria debut. Their Gloria was in the standard banner. They only had Gloria and Tita dual banner. So they had Momo Alexi. We had Momo Alexi on the standard. So we're basically 1 banner ahead of CN, essentially at that rate. And yeah, it doesn't feel like that is the case. About how fast banners were skipped. Drama about signature weapons being added. Yes, there was that drama about signature weapons being added, but then they released the Towerversity. And Towerversity was a way for CN to farm for signature weapons. And for us, we haven't had Towerversity yet. Signature weapons have not released yet, but we're already getting the currency to get signature weapons with the astral shards from events. So when signature weapons come out, we're sitting on a pool of astral shards in order to get the signature weapons. So signature weapons is going to be quite easy for us to get. So there's no real drama here for global. Character reruns on double banner. So that is a tough one. So for reruns, for other gacha games, a lot of the reruns are on just single banners. I don't like how they have it on dual banners. But I guess the good thing about this is for sort of Convallaria, there's no limited units. Every debut banner, every unit that releases, turns into an off-banner unit. So whenever you're pulling for a new unit, you have a chance to get those old, what is considered limited units on other banners. For other gacha games, when they have debut units, they're limited. You only can get it that time, and when it goes away, you can't get that unit again unless they rerun. But for example, when we pull on our banners, we have the chance to get all these units who have come out. Like Karis has just come out, and we can get her. We can get Homer, we can get Hasna, we can get Coco, we can get Akambe. We can get all these essentially limited units in other games. Our units are not limited. They are all can be off-bannered. So free to play, start a month late, already have 12 legendaries with 2.8% rate. So he's a bit lucky with the 2.8%. And that's another thing. with our rate, there is a 2% floor. You can't get more unlucky than getting a 2% rate. Whenever you're close to hitting that 2% rate, you're guaranteed a legendary. You're guaranteed a legendary unit, and that's what's amazing about this game. You can't fall to bad luck, as in you can't go lower than 2%. Pretty sure anyone has half the roster in 3 months. Don't rush for meta, they come on their own. Just keep reliably pulling. Yeah, narrative about false banners is fast banners is false. So 2 weeks. A lot of gacha games do bi-weekly banners. It's only with like Genshin, MiHoYo, I think with Girls Frontline, they've been sort of going through with like a 3-week banner schedule. But most other gacha games have been going on 2-week banners, and that has been the norm. Auto hotkeys? Auto hotkeys in most games is like considered a macro. You shouldn't be macroing on games, so signature weapons are grindable. So it is random for the signature weapons. You use a currency and you get 1 out of 3 random weapons. So I think it's still a good rate there. So Towerversity, the rework, and Universal Derivation was a fun new game mode that came out. So you don't need that many character or even better meta. I got too many and free to play. Shocked by how much free stuff they give. If you want it all, you gotta pay, man. Stop being greedy. If it was free to play friendly, I'll say it is free to play friendly. Like a lot of gacha games, you need to have copies for the unit to be good, or for the unit to work, or for the unit to power up. And in sort of Convallaria, you can farm for your copies, so you don't have to pull for duplicates. You just get 1 unit and then you're done. And also other gachas, they have like signature weapons that you have to pull for. In sort of Convallaria, you can farm them. It is random, but it is farmable. You can get them eventually. You can grind out 5-star, which is like C6 in Genshin in 3 months. You get pulls to every 3rd character. Exactly. A terrible game to whale because the packs are low value. I'll admit that it is the packs. There's no that many bonus packs that you can get. So, you know, you could see it this way. They aren't really into milking the whales for money, like getting all these like random packs at your screen, making you want to spend. You can spend with like a calm mind. You can make your decisions as you go, and you won't be tempted by, oh, these packs are expiring, they're getting good value, you have to get in like 12 hours, or like, you get new packs every week or fortnight. It's free to play friendly if you play a lot. So a lot of gacha games, they're very fast and very quick. They're more like a slot machine. Like you go in there, you collect resources, you pull, and then you get out. But sort of Convallaria, at its base, it is a strategy game. And it is an old school strategy game. You want to really think up strategies, you want to enjoy the story and push through the content. For Spiral Destinies, like most of the time, you can pretty much skip it. It's only when the new updates come, you can do them for the gems and everything. And if you want to breeze through your keys and spam Spiral Destinies, you can burn through like a whole story mode in an hour. I did a speed run of the element route for Spiral Destinies, and I pretty much skipped everything, used up like 5 keys, and yeah, got a bunch of resources. So yeah, you can just breeze through it fairly quickly. I'd rather play JRPGs. But that's different. Sort of Convallaria is a live service game. We're getting updates every fortnight, basically. We're getting new characters to play with, new updates, new stories, new modes. And it's a lot of fun. You're keeping up with people and characters and the community. Like, you're part of this community who is always, you know, hype about all these new content. They're finding strategies and sharing with each other their experiences or how to beat the stage. I can attest it's free-to-play friendly as a hardcore free-to-play What's that? Devout. Very friendly, free to play. Most free to play friendly. 18 legendary pools. 700 free pools since I started a month late. Play a lot of gacha games. Most free to play friendly out there. More than MiHoYo. You're choosing beggars. All characters go into general pool, and you always have a chance to be spooked. Yeah, that's when you get the unit off banner. 80 to 90 pools, and we did a calculation. So I do have the gem guide here. And yeah, we've been doing good. So I didn't put through the first month in October, but that was our first month. So we got a lot of pools there. September, and I'm not even counting the gems we get from Spiral Destinies as well. So we had 100 pools in September. October we had 81. November we had 72. December 82. And coming in January we'll be at 148, which is awesome. We're sitting on average about 80 to 90 pools a month, which is really, really good there. Gacha system is asked if they have played similar gachas. Blue Archive, no pity, but Spark system at 200 pools. Carryover pity. I think that's carryover pity is fairly standard for gacha. This sub loves to strive on misinformation. This is awesome trailer for a great story expansion, but it's shit up by people who drop the game and seeking attention. Ultimately, people only care about gambling addiction and fan service. Fun is a distant third, so they deserve shitty rep and predatory model they support. What the both of you are saying stems from personal experience, but in reality, people who had to hit hard pity too many times aren't going to care that have a minuscule chance of getting spooked by the character. Game itself hardly has anything that be called fun between tedious content such as universal derivation and puzzles in event that are frustrating to do unless you follow guides. But these events are fun to some people. It might not be the sort of game you enjoy. Like universal derivation, that was like really good for strategy RPG players. You can think of strats, or you can slowly grind down the mobs. And they're having puzzles and events to cater with newer and beginning players who don't have such a strong setup. So it's like it's giving the chance for them to enjoy the game as well. Hard pity twice doesn't prevent me from enjoying the game. How to better make use of soft pity mechanics and no limited banner. Universal derivation is tedious, whereas I enjoyed a lot. You can skip some event puzzles if they're too frustrating. If you don't want to rack your brain for some minor gems. What are you expecting from a tactical RPG in the first place? Not worry about tactic and strategy when clearing a map. This isn't some herder order goes burst kind of game. You have to put in some effort. So it's purely opinion. Lots of people like Brown Dust 2 for generous and softcore port. Combat became boring, story stale, everyone turned into nothing but glorified $6 annoying. No amount of free pools fixing that. Sort of Convallaria is constantly engaging in many ways. People on the sub defend games that are more stingy and uninteresting than sort of Convallaria. I have tried Brown Dust 2. Very free to play friendly. Yeah, I could say that because every banner that comes out, they're getting free pulls. Quality life, yeah. Like, there's not much strategy in that game. It's just first turn BS. Like, you just arrange your units and in a way where it just blows up all the mobs first turn. And, you know, isn't much of a strategy game. You just set up and it's basically auto. Daily pools redeem every 200. Oh, that was the annoying thing I remember about Brown Dust 2. Like, for every character, you had to get like multiple costumes and like duplicates and everything. That was so frustrating with Brown Dust 2. Respect your time, has auto battle option, sweet mechanics, auto pathing, click on quests. But are you really playing your game? Like we do have sweet mechanics. We have auto battle, which isn't as good as it can be. We can auto battle some stages, but most of the harder stages, we do need to think and play with strategy. Because at the base, it is a strategy RPG game. Minimal grind. Has little animations, can be turned off. Do the very hard battles. Yeah, it's too wombo first turn orientated. Gameplay wise, stories were good. Game stinginess has been greatly overblown. You're about to full pity every character. Yeah, gacha system is close to Arknights. Rates are good enough that you rarely ever hard pity, but hard pity is very hard to reach for free to play. And it gets downvoted so much. Since I'm playing both, Sword of Combo is stingy. You get 740, 1,500 weekly for finishing dailies and doing the weekly tower. In Arknights, you get 3,000, 6,000 for doing all these weeklies. Doesn't include the 6,000 converter that you get for free. Gacha rate is crap. Arknights is stingy as shit though. Is it? I'm free to play. I have 66 out of 77. Actually, how much do I have? I'm curious. I have 69. Okay, 9 of the top 10 units. I'm free to play and I don't. What's that about anecdotes? I'm free to play. I have all their copies maxed for real. I only played a week ago. What is with all these downvotes? They're doing events and giving rewards and pools right now. You convinced me to turn back and try again. Here's the logging event, gives you 10 pool. That's 1/18th of the way to pity. Not much free to play pity. Try Girls Frontline 2 better. This is miles better. Rather go switch for RPG. NIGHTCRIMSON on the 27th. The return event. Gloria is still good. Outdated tier list. Oh, Dotato shout out. If you ton the math, if you played since day one, you got enough free currency to pity one character per month. That's not taking into account the 2% legendary. On average, you'll pull the featured character every 86 pulls. Narrative game is stingy and on a celebrated banner schedule is a false narrative perpetrated by a couple of schizos who make their personality into hating this game. What's with all these downvotes, man? I have an old account that doesn't pull for characters, cleared 85% of the content. Currency is rare and strong sense of FOMO. Actually, I think one of the main issues with Sword of Convallaria is while we have all these events that come out and all these gems, it's not instant gratification like other gacha games. Like, you don't instantly get these rewards. Check-in, you still have to wait days. Content, you still have to beat it. The stages slowly unlock. So it doesn't feel like you're getting a lot all at once. And for gacha gamers, for a lot of gacha gamers and like gacha games, it's like a slot machine. You want that instant gratification. You get a bunch of pulls. You pull straight away. You get another unit. But it's not like that for Sword of Convallaria. It takes weeks. It could take a month to finish an event. And then you slowly work your way to get those pulls. So it is satisfying in a way to work hard for this. But I don't think that vibes as well with gacha gamers in general. You want those massive amount of pulls straight away and get characters instantly. You have to wait in Sword of Convallaria. Clear the content is not a flex for free-to-play games. Double banners are absolute murder. I do agree with that, but probably don't aim for a double banner in the first place. But then again, like, if you're missing the unit, it can be tough. Like, if you're missing a unit, do you want to go back and summon for anything? I think what you want to do is just summon for the next big unit. Summon for, like, Tear. Summon for Tristan. And work with what you have. Don't bother with the double banners because You know, units do get slightly power creep from time to time, and it's better to just keep going at the newer units than pulling any double banners, from my opinion. My friend lost 50-50 thrice. If you lose 50-50 3 times, actually that's pretty lucky. Because getting 3 units without hitting the pity, that means, you know, you're hitting that 2% rate. In what game would you be able to spend 150 pulls and get 3 units, 3 legendary units? And like those legendary units, a lot of the legendary units are good. So, you know, even losing that 50-50 3 times, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with the really crappy standard battle units. You have a chance to get any of the past debut units that have come out. Lost twice in 50-50. Yeah, 2% health. 2% rate doesn't help when you can always lose the 50-50. No safety net, but the hard pity at 180. 2% can be deceiving. I guess the main point is, one, maybe we should be saving up until hard pity before pulling for a unit. Maybe you want to save to 180 before pulling a unit. And 2, like, losing 50-50 is bad, but there's a lot of good units you can get even when you lose 50-50. So it's not the end of the world. You can still get really good units. Like, even if you're getting like Mytha, Rawia, like those units are still strong. And even if you hit them 5-star, you can get shards which can convert to pulls as well. The pulls and selector. They're doing the comeback event because that was what was scheduled in the game in the CN Taiwan version. We jumped to a lot of newer events. No safety net. Piss during the August banner, he lost 50-50 3 times. That's the price to pay. Plus, if they're trash legendaries or mediocre ones, that won't feel well. He quit after that. That's how brutal the gacha is. They should have just copied Hoyo. Double banners and gritty devs, nah. Currency rates were too small to feel rewarding. 2% rate is better than the 6% rate for Hoyo. All legendary shared pool versus the legendary pool that doesn't include limited units. Farmable unit dupes versus rank ups that can be unlocked by pulling dupes. Generic legend weapons is over limited weapons that you can only get by using pulls. Game is stingy, not this one. Thinking sort of Convallaria is stingy, might be bots at this point. Finally quit hours ago after the twice 50-50 with Agatha. Game is very stingy. Most contents are not beginner friendly. The difficulty spike is quite high. I mean, you could still beat a lot of the content using like burn units, the Luxite gang, and just grind them down. It's not that the difficulty spike is high, it's just there is multiple strategies in beating the content. Sometimes if your unit's not strong enough, you have to find other ways to beat the content, because at the end of the day, this is a strategy game and there's a lot of strategies to beat a certain mode. It's not like it's fixed at there's only one way to do things. And you know, that's why we do have the puzzle stages and like the easier stages where you get units to use there. I'll never recommend this game to anyone. I'd rather play Girl Frontline 2, very generous devs and fun events. I mean, seriously? Like, pulling up my Girl's Frontline, look at this. Show me on page 3. And we keep going. We keep going. What is this rate? Vepley on page 14. And nothing. 23. Somi on page 24. 25. So out of 148 pulls, I got 3 legendaries. And yeah, I got Somi because she needs she's really good at the first duplicate. But you know, that was a fair amount of pulls. So it's on average 49 pulls for legendary here. So that puts us at a 2% rate. But keep in mind, I'm getting pretty lucky here. Their rate is 1.89. So you could say both the rates in Girls Frontline and sort of Convallaria are similar. Except for Girls Frontline 2, you can't farm for the dupe. So if I really wanted Xiaomi at V1, I would have had to pull for a copy of her. So that's just really tough. And yeah, let's have a look at another game. So I did play Honkai Star Rail for quite a long time, from day 1, Seale, until Jiaokyo. And yeah, like this, I had amazing luck here. And look at these stats. 5% luck, in the top 9.4% of players. And yeah, that was like, what? How many pulls? Median. How much does it say? Jade spent. Where are my pull stats? Oh, here. So 1,046 pulls. And I got 19 5 stars. So me being in the top 9% of players, that means I'm at 1.8% of the pulls. And yeah, 50-50 is like 53%. So yeah, even though I'm so lucky, this is worse than my luck for Sword of Convallaria. Like, Sword of Convallaria has a flat, 2%. You can't go under that 2% rate. And imagine if your luck was worse than mine. Imagine you were in the top 50% in Honkai Star Rail. You wouldn't be able to, be as lucky, and that there's no like safe ground for you. You're stuck at, at such a bad rate compared to sort of Convallaria. And for this, a lot of the units become better at multiple copies. Like, I had to pull E2 Firefly because she was that awesome, and yeah, just had to go through it and keep pulling at the banner. And lucky I saved a lot. But you see, I'm missing key units like Kafla and Black Swan. I didn't have the chance to use them. So yeah, even with such good luck, I'm losing all these 50-50s back to back, and I'm spending so many warps and not really getting much SSRs. So not much 5 stars, only 19. And going with my sort of Convallaria pulls, like, I did reroll a lot to get Beryl and Cole in my first 10 pull. Gloria, that took quite a while. Like, this Iggy was from the beginner banner, and so Gloria took 70. Ida went from 120 to 300. I had to get Ida at hard pity, so I lost 2 50-50s there, essentially. And then after I got Simona was quite fast. I lost the 50-50 and got her with 60 pulls. Then we had Coco. Coco was pretty good as well, 70 pulls, also lost a 50-50. And when we went to Kanbei, we lost 3 50-50s in a row. And that was 130 pulls, so we still got him before hard pity, which was pretty nice. Then we had Sophia. Sophia went from... So Sophia was 80 pulls, so lost 2 50-50s, and we got a dupe of her at the very end, which was amazing. And then we had August. So August was sitting at 80 pulls. We lost 2 50-50s. Then we went for Hasna. So Hasna was a big one as well. Hasna was hard pity, and we'd lost 3 50-50s. And then we got Homer, really lucky, within 40 pulls. And then Karis here. Karis was 70 pulls, and we lost the 50-50. And Agatha was 70 pulls as well, and we lost the 50-50. So you just have to, even though I lost some 50-50s, I did get some good units. So Garcia's not really that good. Nungle's pretty good there. Nurgle, not really. Rawia, it is what it is. Another Nungle here was amazing. Sophia dupe was amazing. Cole dupe was kind of okay. Coco dupe was amazing. Beryl dupe was pretty good. And there was another Nungle here. Nono Will was great. And yeah, it is what it is. I think sort of Convallaria does have a really good pull system here with that 2% guarantee there. Yeah, it's designed for a slow burn, long run, whether you hyper hoard for specific characters you want at any cost, and accept the byproduct spooks gladly as a bonus. And because no one is time limited, you can be able to get other characters down the line as well. And yeah, that there was this thread in our Reddit as well. Look at all the hate, and Des must be so confused about the content. Most mobile and gacha gamers looking for two things: auto ball and boobs and butts. And some of us want to play a game, and we like our gacha games as well. So we only view gacha games as slot machines, gambling fixes, or pool simulators. Yeah, $80 is not a low spender, my guy. Meant as a max, not a minimum. Free to play, I like to pull probably a bit too much. But something that people are skipping over? Pity carries over. I think that's fairly common in gacha games. Is it really that rare? And what else? Main gacha gaming sub has become a cesspool that worships the same 5 games and dogpiles on anything else, even spreading the lies about other games to try to make themselves feel better. Yeah, going through this thread, nobody really cared about what happened in the trailer or, discussed about anything, or yeah, it was just like everyone's just shitting on the game, and that's it. Like we could have had some more like criticism. Already uninstalled Star Rail. Yeah, I uninstalled as well. I quit. Might go back, but it was, I don't know, it was boring. Like I could just order everything. I pulled the meta characters because they're meta, and I wasn't really having much fun if I could just beat anything and don't really think. Stick around because of the story. Patch had nothing to do with the meta supports. So many games that don't make every character time exclusive. Writing is good. Thousands of pulls. Stay away from that subreddit that only promotes specific games, Hoyo and Booba. There's no thirst base. Yeah, no thirst baits there. Unless one thinks of Sophia's thighs as fan service. A bunch of unhinged C players who get slighted. Oh, Lumi, you're famous. He's got no life and he's on a mission. The guy with the tear profile. Calls girls frontline too generous because they're 0.6% rates, 150 pity, 70, 80 pulls a month. So that's pretty much same as us. So 150 pity, we've got 180. 70, 80, we've got like 80 to 90. Maybe you could just say that's the same. We've got 2% rates. Non-farmable dupes, and yeah, don't get me started on that weapon banner. At least we can farm our legendary weapons. Yeah, they just didn't get the same comments. So below average when it comes to rates and pools income. I think these are more outliers than anyone else. So Sword of Convallaria has a visual and gameplay identity that brought many non-gacha players. Spiral Destiny was the main topic, and Sword of Convallaria was compared to Ogre Tactics and other strategies. all the idle games kind of messed up with the amount of pulls compared to more classic gachas like Summoners War. No, it's not perfect. It's a gacha. It's going to be biased and predatory. But it's a fun game that requires you to play the strategies and allows you in the long run to have many interesting units and teams. Yeah, like when I was playing Girls Frontline, I felt like I was stuck. It was just like a DPS check. I just, combo a few skills, debuff, and damage. That's pretty much it. And the only way I could get better was just keep upgrading my gear and get better stats. But sort of Convallaria, if I can't beat the stage, I have many ways around it. I could try other units, because we have so many units. We have epics, rares, and commons that we can use. There's many different type of skills that you can choose from, many different debuffs, many different mechanics, and that's what makes sort of Convallaria really, really amazing. So compared to Tactics Ogre, it's day and night. My favorite people don't understand the 180 hard pity is the exact same as Hoyo. Astra Vita. Girls Frontline. No, I think that's every 3 weeks there. Got downvoted to oblivion for defending this game. Truth is, we still have a 2% SSR, which is way more than the average gacha, and we only need 1 copy because we can farm shards. It's an echo chamber where Hoyo games are considered masterpieces. Surprising free-to-play friendly. After burning down 20k gems, you're getting a decent amount back from dailies. And got almost all the characters you want. Other games try to do it, but they're separated into PvP and PvE tiers. It's annoying to level up. Kind of surprised when I had to level up a common and rare unit for one of the weapon trials because he had a good defense debuff. Yeah, that was the Outlaw Guard. And Papal Guard, shield ability to tank one of the attacks. Copy paste another comment. Hate mainly comes from how the game was perceived at launch. Bad ton of bad faith actors, players, and content creators during launch. Fake drama about nothing but burger and blatant misinformation. Few CN players hating the game somehow and doom posting on every post. Famous accelerator banner. The game was stingy and the gacha pity is garbage. It's not best in the world by all means, but good lord, after wailing on Girls Frontline 2 recent release, I was thoroughly reminded that 0.6 chance of SSR is utter garbage, regardless of when pity is, and 2% on Sword Convallaria with 0 need of dupe is fucking awesome. Yeah, so Sword of Convallaria has a few issues, but weirdly, people over-focus on the wrong ones. Game got a bad rep at launch for a lot of the wrong reasons, and real reason is mainly devs did not do anything about it. People left with bad taste, even though it wasn't warranted. And the issue was the same on the Taiwan and Chinese server, when devs did not communicate or fix things when they had their own drama. Yeah, the latest 4.0 stream had really promising content. Devs apologize and yeah, they're trying to redeem themselves. So, Worship Predatory Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. First impression was kind of rough. Relative low free-to-play income compared to breakneck catch-up pacing. I mean, that's still a big dispute because compared to CN, we were only 1 banner ahead. So I don't know. We got Gloria, they got Alexia Momo. That's basically the only difference between CN and global release. Taiwan was like the beta version, so that did count. Freebies being stretched out for a week or 2 instead of straight up giving 10 pulls or something. Yeah, people just, gacha. They want their instant gratification. Downright bad redeemer codes. Yeah, that was like, it wasn't worth the time putting it in. Dual banners without any iron guarantee whatsoever. Yeah, it doesn't offer instant gratification compared to the competition. has a high expected probability of getting spooks. Players are supposed to be happy about getting random legendaries, and is generally built with players believing they'll get what they want sooner or later. Hey, that's my post. Problem is, people try and play meta units, which is not really needed in this game. Got a guy on YouTube doing guides on Tower 910, spamming Luxite. Hard pity. You want a truth or glaze? GACHAGAMING sub is pretty terrible. People here blind to the critiques. Or more accurately, people are left. Game launched with far more players, but had a larger drop-off. 20k people, 30 online. Yeah, 30 online still. Very small numbers. There are legitimate reasons why the game is disliked, but no one wants to seriously accept criticism because they only see miHoYo. They're not the competition. They blow in terms of income and player base. Why do we always go back to the Genshin comparison? They're stingy because they have high budget and quality. Sword of Convallaria is not going to compete with the Genshin voice acting. No gacha is. Sword of Convallaria with miHoYo rates will be a dead game. See Astra Vita. Had miHoYo rates but no quality. Free SSR after disastrous launch. Let's forget the quote that since Sword of Convallaria is more generous, it should be cheered for, but that's a bare minimum. Similar rates, but Arknight has more income, provides newbies with an easier beginner banner, SR select and SR banner, maintains a better power creep curve compared to most gachas, quality is much better, smaller character pool in Path of Nowhere, better income, counterside, higher rates, high income, multiple selectors while playing the game, new gacha, lower rates, more income at launch. You can hard pity a banner character launch within a week. Hard pitting Gloria was much harder to do, even with honeymoon income. Guardian Tales, higher rates and income, launch around the same time as Arknights. Punishing Grey Raven, similar rates, better income. Higher rates, much higher income in the Aether Gazer. Ash Echo, same as well. So generosity in Sword of Convallaria isn't special, lies on the lower end. Honeymoon was lacking compared to the other honeymoons. We need to look at Lengrissa M. Quality of Sword of Convallaria is good, but it's not GTA 6. So if they're not generous, they need to be attractive enough to hold players. Sorry, but Sword of Convallaria isn't that big of a game. So it's not generous, not a death sentence, but doesn't have much going on for it. SRPG gameplay is good, but more fun with more characters. Arknights is better because they upfront a lot of characters that you can play around, rather than getting stuck with default SR, SSR, nothing but Rs for the rest of the game. The Luxite reward, there's other factors involved. Top comment called about gacha games only wanting auto farm and boobs, and the cope is we're less stingy than miHoYo games. Okay, so really good constructive criticism. Mainly shitposts and dream posts relaying false info from content creators. How many allows you to get dupes for free? So I guess the bad thing about that is sometimes the dupes in Sword of Convallaria you kind of need them. But then again, like, it's saying, like, we need V1 for Somi. It does make the game easier, but you can still play it with 1-star characters. So as a whale, I only need to drop $100 in a new banner because I don't need to spend for dupes. We do not rush banners. We skipped all the early banners. It was a good decision. You do have good points, not saying Sword of Convallaria is perfect. Disagree on the whole game is stingy rhetoric. Gacha games more than a decade, Epic 7, Brave Frontier, Fire Emblem, King's Raid, Memento Mori, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Girls Front Line. Sword of Convallaria is the cheapest to play as a whale. Only gacha that was cheaper to play is Eversoul. That game's too generous. So Lengrissa, the dupes are necessary for direct power. Arknights, they're not necessary at all and completely ignorable. Path of Nowhere, it's the middle ground. Girls Frontline 2 differs from character to character. Some don't need full dupes and some need 1+2, etc. PGR can be farmed. Counterslide needs dupes. They give you more avenues. It's the most generous. Dupe is good, but dupe cannot be farmed. From free-to-play perspective, Girls Frontline 2 has a better launch. You get more honeymoon income and an easy way to pity the banner you want. Somi or Uldred, if you're crazy, get a few more standard dolls. Girls Frontline 2 is not good value from a paying perspective. Sort of Convallaria has good value, let's buy a selector. Most players are free to play. It's a perspective. A lot of banners, not enough income. Free to play is expected to skip banners, but this being front loaded does give a bad taste. That's worth mentioning. A lot of the stingier gachas are old now. Back in the day, we wouldn't even have honeymoon SSR. Landscape is too much comparison. Fair enough, good points. Should have handled the honeymoon way better. At 3.0, Night Crimson is amazing though. Yeah, future Crimson Night event we're getting soon. Lots of pull and stuff to do. We should have had this kind of start. Hard agree. Gachas are actually okay. Yeah, they expected too much of the gacha. Is for long term and those who like challenging content. Most players joined are already used to easy content, couldn't be bothered with too much hassle. So this guy quit because of time commitment and grind. This should be the top comment, but no, most people also ignore criticism. They always talk about Shah farming, but never mention any other good things about the game. AAA game for Hoyo. Limbus. If you're comparing the game, don't check your comments. Yeah, gacha is gacha. We should be comparing those with each other. Strategy is just too niche. Mobile games, RNG gambling system. You definitely do not get more pulls in Arknights than sort of Convallaria. 80 a month. Arknights does not get you anywhere near that amount. Hard PD for anniversary, half anniversary limited. Arknights is 300 pulls. Those banners are also dual banners. They're present in Arknights. They've been out for 4 years. SSR Selector is a recent addition. We don't even know how the power creep curve is going to shake out. Game has been releasing global for 5 months. So comparison with Arknights is not accurate. If you have an updated pool income for both games, I'll be happy to change my view. So you're counting modern Arknights? Well, I do have my sheet here. You guys should yeah, maybe I should comment my sheet on this post. Arknights, Sodokama is unique in its flat power curve. It's a bit uncommon to have direct power creep in modern gacha. Isn't that stingy if you open a gacha discussion to include all gachas as in the bad ones in recent years? If you look at the top, there's a tighter competition. It spreads its pools over time, whereas other games front load more in the honeymoon period for newbies, give them a reason to stick and accumulate. We ask newbies to trust it and stick around before the SSR starts coming. AI is stupid. They used to be fun pre-COVID in the gacha gaming sub. Type of player who loves to press buttons and throw units at maps carelessly. Playing since launch, I'm here for the story and events. More than a gacha game. Content is console level immense. Yeah, we've been pretty good with their gacha. You're pretty lucky, my guy. Jujutsu Kaisen stinginess. Yeah, what did they get? Like 5 banners in their first month? General gacha gamers have huge time and money investment in the games they're already playing. It's much easier to look for reasons to dismiss them rather than give new games a chance. Gacha addicts are rotating half a dozen games at once, so actual gameplay depth and substantial amount of content becomes a negative rather than a positive. That's why most popular gachas have gameplay that's AFK, skippable, or brain dead easy to beat, especially for premium players. Yeah, even if you whale in sort of Convallaria, you can't just be like, oh, I just one-shot everything. You still have to do some strategy and depth in the game. Storytelling, gorgeous music, they're all just running their numbers on the pulls. Guardian Tales, any gacha that isn't Guardian Tales feels stingy. They don't look at the value of the pool. Several strong legendaries. Maddest people at the loudest, true everywhere in life. Much harder than other gachas. You have to really spend your way to easy clears. Look at the end game modes. Yeah, like Honkai Star Rail. I was just ordering all the hard content and I didn't have to think besides like the first month in the game. I just set up my gear and auto beats it. If auto doesn't beat it, then I just need to tweak things slightly and auto again. Universal derivation. 3,300 power augers with 4 stars. We're getting one shot and could only put a dent. Stingy on free pulls despite an accelerator release. Why are you guys saying it's an accelerator release? Oh, of content. Okay, right. Getting better and free pulls for NIGHTCRIMSON. Yep, better. All characters going to permanent pool. Game felt largely unfinished early on. The 2-story system was disjoint and confusing. Neither side gets enough content. No endgame, no guild content. Dealt with budget limitations. So free to play over 700 pulls without including anything post Agatha banner, which is enough to hard pity a character every month. You're not required to pull dupes to make units usable or have split banners for weapons. Whaling this game isn't as cost effective as others and doesn't bring the same advantages. I find it funny how losing 50-50 is socially acceptable for games like Genshin and Honkai. But sort of Convallaria having arguably friendlier 50-50, better rates and no weapon banner gets all the hate. Yeah, look at my 50-50 rate. So I lost one 50-50 here, another 50-50 here, another 50-50 here. All these 50-50 losses back to back, and yeah, it was tough for Honkai Star Rail. Failed to attract the main audience for strategy RPG. People were skeptical or rejected the gacha element. SRPG is a niche genre. Pixelated art is also niche. Then there's Gacha, Arkland EOS. Failed the honeymoon phase. They in the first 3 months, they should try to communicate and lavish players with reward. Try and retain characters' attention. ZZZ, people hate the TV mode. Dev scratch that. Brown Dust 2, people don't want male characters. Dev replied, no more male characters. Too much gacha and limited time. That's what gacha addicts love to do. They hop on a new gacha, try it out, didn't get the unit they like, go on a rant on how bad the gacha rates is, doing posts about the game dying within several months, and leaves. After leaving, they'll have a grudge against the game. When they see it get posted anywhere, they'll attack it immediately. Essentially, they're like idiots and behave like children, because that's what it is at the core. A lot of gachas get shitted on. Hard to engage with a lot of the criticism for the game. Comes as looking at a gift horse in the mouth, or whining in search of handouts. Being able to AFK my grinds and partake with enjoyable characters, spotty English translations is pretty good. It's not like the PS1 era. Prior wasn't chock full of laughable English translations for JRPGs. I'm happy my protagonist says more than ... aka Shining Force. 2025, when crying on the internet is more fun than playing a game. It probably came late. Problem is the publisher, not the game, how it handles it, and communication of the community. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Majority of haters are dolphins that want to bet 150 and get a character that costs 400 a pity. They don't want to spend since Luxite packages on the shop are too expensive for their income, so they get crazy and start telling everyone the game is bad. Some free play listen to them. They also keep listening to bad content creators like Sephi, who says Convallaria is boring, while his main game is Nikkei, and doomers like Hawkeye that want to farm views over people's despair. Thank God the majority of the annoying people left. I'm still here, my guy. But they don't accept this as a gacha focus on whales' money and not some charity work. It's sad to see CC only interested in clickbaitable content. Only exacerbate the problem. True, bro, his content is good, but this type of video doesn't help at all. Waiting for Hawkeye video about this drama. He's part of the problem. Always telling folks to skip units and chase meta. What for? You can clear everything in single content with first few character banners like Gloria, Coco, August. What more do people want? They just listen to bad advice like save your resources for old weapons and other nonsense. The game gave you everything you needed in the first 2 months. You only need to 5-star them, which can be done for free. Hey, Talvesti is still coming. They showed us in 4.0, so, saving, hoarding, in gacha games, you want to aim for the meta content because things do get harder, and you want to be prepared for that. Maybe you just don't see it, or maybe you enjoy, struggling through content. Like, it's not really struggling, it's just that I just want to make sure you guys find ways to do things easier. And it's not like you can't, beat some content with just the Luxite gang, use weaker units, and beat those stages. Like, people beat like the weapon trials with weaker units. They beat the fireside chat. They beat universal derivation. But having the meta units just makes it more easy, and sometimes it can be more enjoyable as well. But, I'm a guy who chases meta, and meta is my thing, so that's what I'll go with. It's not to say that is the only way you can play the game. You can still play the game with weaker units, and sometimes if you don't have enough to farm for meta, then it is what it is. You can still enjoy the game with characters that you like. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This was a huge rant, and I think I covered most of the comments, and yeah, it's I don't know why people are hating on sort of Convallaria so much. This is an amazing 3.0 update, and I can't wait until we get the new characters, new events, new challenging content, and yeah, I still encourage for us to go after meta, because we're still getting the revamped Talvesti. We're getting some hard content. You don't have to do it if you enjoy strategizing with non-meta units, or you enjoy playing with non-meta units. Like there's always the option. But having meta units gives you the option to make your life easier. And that's what I'm all about. Getting high scores, beating harder content, using meta characters because they're the most ideal for those stages. Alright, thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.